Now look, I know I was supposed to record fresh off the hype, but I was trying to do a little setup that same night, and it bummed me out that I had to reset my whole Chromebook. So I just I got to it as soon as I could, and I have to get this out before the presentation tomorrow, because oh my gosh. So I'm gonna be releasing this tonight. But I just want to go over 10 things with you guys. Don't worry, it's not going to be a lot of time, 30 minutes max. That's the way I try to keep my shows now. Very digestible, unless it's news coverage. Otherwise, that's usually like a 90-minute take. But let's get started. So, first thing that caught my attention, Rido Remastered. I was not aware of Rido Original. Yeah, that was bad. I know, but Atlas is really in a renaissance right now because I didn't know anything about what's the name of that game that Astro's playing right now. Darn it, I can't remember the name of it. Metaphor. I was gonna hate myself if I didn't say that into the mic. Um, yeah, so I didn't know about that until he told me about it. But apparently that's a big deal for people. Well, he told me about it a while back, but it was at TGA. But yeah, I mean, I love the art style. I'm just hoping they find a way to differentiate these games, which I'm not saying they're not. They do appear to be different games, but sharing this art style, I'm not sure if that's going to work out for them so well long term. Um, but it's beautiful. Raida remastered The Mystery of the Soulless Army. I mean, I'm not going to play it just because it's not really so much my thing. I'm more into SMT, dystopian sort of thing. And I mean, it's like every every game they come out with this art style is just demons, spirits, demons, and I'm like, what's up? But yeah, I just thought I'd mention that because I'm glad things are seemingly working out for Atlas. Atlas has been a great resource, a great investment for Sega. So good for them. I'm hoping this does well in sales as well. And I'm almost certain it's going to be on other platforms as well. Comes out June 19th for Switch. Um, yeah, not much to say about it, but I'm watching these trailers as I'm going through what I have here. Oh, this next one, it was like bittersweet for me the way that they handled this during the direct. So, Shadow Labyrinth. I thought this was really interesting because it's you get so many Metroidvanias nowadays. It's hard for any of them to stand out. And then there's this spherical figure following you around that looks like Pac-Man, and that's how you traverse through it, right? I just thought that was kind of funny, kind of weird. And it's made by Bamco, so not gonna have any legal issues there. Um, but then the part that kind of ruined it for me during the direct, they kind of did the reveal at the end like they had to prove something instead of letting the product speak for itself. But you're transforming into different kinds of beasts and stuff. Okay, you're eating your enemies. I forgot about that part. Oh wow. But yeah, they kind of tell you at the end of the trailer that, oh, this is some kind of like dark origin story for Pac-Man, and I'm like, Bro, why did you do that? That shit would have been like a kind of thing, like when you finish the game. Now it's just silly. It kind of takes something away from it for me. I don't know. Like, I guess from the logo, you could kind of tell, but it's like, I guess it would have been more a thing like, they're not going to actually say that's Pac-Man, are they? This is kind of ridiculous. They gave it away to sell it. I don't think that was a good move. What was the release date on that one? July 18th. Um, Now this next one, I'm hoping this next one caught Jay's attention more than one of the things we're gonna cover at the end of this episode. But Story of Seasons, it and I will admit these are the things that are going through my mind during me watching the direct itself. I was like, okay, an off-brand Animal Crossing, and I'm sorry. I was like, it was like a merge between Animal Crossing and My Sims. Like, okay, no, it is much more than that. This looks awesome. I actually want to play this game. But it kind of threw me when they showed that you could get married in the game, because I'm like, oh my god, I thought this was a kid. So that was something. Um, but yeah, this is really interesting. Art style looks great, and then they said it was on DS. So look, I didn't have a DS of my own, okay? So it wasn't like I was buying games for it back in the day, and especially since I was in elementary school. um, Comes out August 27th. But I genuinely do want to uh, play that game. That was really good. Um, but I kind of want the My Sims bundle now that I mentioned My Sims, because My Sims Kingdom was so fun. Oh, simpler times. Of course, one of the big ones. We've waited since launch year of the Nintendo Switch, you know, since they announced it that E3 with a teaser. They finally showed off more for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. And I wouldn't say there's a controversy, but I would say there's like a dilemma about this being in the direct and how they presented it. Um, Basically, there wasn't enough oomph there for people. And I would somewhat agree, but at the same time, like, Metroid Prime is, I mean, it's not like a super hype thing. So to hype up a trailer for Metroid in the traditional sense would do it a disservice, because that's not how you're going to feel while you're playing the game. It's more of a awe kind of moment, like, oh, like, good God. This would be so much easier to talk with other people while doing this. But everybody's busy nowadays. I mean, I just wanted a release date, and we still didn't get that, so not too happy with that aspect of it. But I mean, everything was looking like clean environmental assets and new enemy units and such. But then they called her new like thing psychic abilities, and I wasn't sure how to feel about that. I was like, you mean like telekinetic, right? Or psychokinetic, or whatever the hell. Well, not psychokinetic, because it's not with her mind. Oh, with the power of her mind. So why wouldn't it be psychokinetic? I guess we have the wrong idea of what psychic means, just based on pop culture and such. But when this random dude started speaking that random ass language, I was like, how long does it take for them to come up with stuff like that? Because I imagine there's actually like a code that they have to follow instead of just making sounds and shit. Um, I don't know. I feel like they're not gonna release this until the end of the year. Like, I feel like they may even have to delay it again. If I'm being honest with you, Chosen One is crazy. Um, I feel like they didn't show us a lot because they're still not done with it. What is this red outfit? I forgot about that being at the end of the trailer. Oh my god. Her visor's purple for some reason. Um it was hype for me, but like I said, just not in the traditional sense, right? Um so yeah, I kind of understood where people were coming from, but it's like, guys, this isn't Smash Bros. You don't it just doesn't it shouldn't get the same energy. Not get the same energy. It shouldn't deliver the same vibrations. I'll put it that way. That would just be weird. Um yeah, I feel like they're about to delay it again though, and that's what bothers me. Cuz they don't even have a release season. They could have at least said winter 2025, which is what I'm thinking they're going for. I don't think it's coming before um November, December. And they're not going to launch in November because obviously that's when every major Pokemon release other than Legends Arceus launches in November. And I mean, by the looks of it, we're not getting Gen 10 this year. They're going to want to hold off on that for the 30th anniversary, which makes a lot of sense, personally. So, Legends uh, Z through A, which we're going to talk about after this next title, Z to A, I suppose, is going to take up November. So, Metroid Prime 4 has to be December if they don't delay it. Hoping everything works out, but it's not really looking too good right now. I'm gonna be honest. This next one was unexpected for me. Um, Tamagotchi Plaza. I thought they were done with Tamagotchi. I guess they're trying to sell them again. Maybe they're gonna come out with an app or something. I don't know. But I feel like they're doing this to sell physical merchandise somehow. I don't know. I just thought it was really cute and fun looking. I'm gonna have to look more into that because honestly, I wasn't really paying too close attention to this part, and even now, I'm not really looking at it too close. But I had that on my list, not to just make up like a 10 title list, but like it genuinely looks like something I'd be interested in. Maybe I won't play it June 27th, by the way, but I think I owe it to myself because I've been wanting to play more casual stuff. So, okay, our other major one on this list, Legend Z to A. I think it really is gonna pay off that they didn't try to like replicate a formula with Z to A. Um, the way you explored this is completely different from Legends Arceus. It's not back in old past times. It's it's in Lumio City. Like it's a very familiar environment, obviously. It looks kind of more like what they were starting on doing with Sword and Shield. I haven't played Scarlet and Violet, so I can't speak to that. Maybe it does play exactly like that. But I mean, I'm not gonna try and talk through this whole trailer because there's not much for me to say. I don't know enough about Pokemon to keep commentary going like that. But kind of like they're doing with the quote unquote wild zones, it's the same thing with the wild areas, right? That's kind of why I went with the sword and shield sort of thing. But the ranking system, because it's kind of important for me to talk about that. So let me try and skip ahead here. The ZA Royale. They were really hyping that up. They changed the OSC and everything. um, I'm waiting on another trailer for this game because I want to know what all goes into this. Because apparently you work your way up from Z all the way to rank A, and I'm guessing you fight, typical Pokemon champion sort of thing. And obviously they confirmed this before, but Mega Evolutions are back. I think that was really nice. Um, I don't think they gave a release date for this either, though. Oh, also, I like how much more expressive the characters are in this. Thought that was really nice. Okay, so it looks like they're gonna do day and night cycles. Yeah, see, all they said was late 2025. I don't know why they still do that with Pokemon titles. Like, bro, we know it's November. Y'all always do a smack dab middle of November. And seeing how you launched Scarlet and Violet the way you did, clearly you don't care that much about the game being super glitchy. So I think they're gonna launch November regardless and then just fix it up as time goes on. But yeah, really nice. I just hate that I have not had a chance to play Arceus yet. Really disappointing. Oh, and the return of a long awaited, a long missed game, a long missed series. The fact that they did two WarioWares before they did Rhythm Heaven was crazy. I thought that was the wildest thing ever. When they announced that in the direct, I got so hyped. This is actually ridiculous. I'm watching the trailer again because, like, bro, what? And the soundtrack is glorious. This is just amazing, bro. Mm. Rhythm, having groove. Looking at us. Oh, that was the killer part. Bro, they said it wouldn't launch until next year. What? You're joking. That was such an asshole move to pull. So obviously that's going to be a dual release game as well. And the last game had me screaming at the top of my lungs. Broski. They finally fucking did it. And I told my friend Jay they would never release it until they're completely done with all of the Animal Crossing New Horizons updates. And they finally fucking announced it. Opening it with a fart is crazy. Tomodachi Life 2, Living the Dream. And it looks so good. And I forgot that they actually like talk in this game because Mies don't talk, right? And she said, "Oh yeah, bro." The voices are ridiculous, bro. And that was another gut punch. That also doesn't launch until next year. But it was still great, man. Wow. Mm-mm. Oh, that's what confirmed it was a dream. She was walking in the background. Okay, that's funny. Um, I kind of felt bad because I had borrowed Jay's copy of Tomodachi Life, and I had started eventually playing my Switch more, and that was when save data was saved onto the game card for certain games. And so I ended up like deleting her save file to make like this world of people. And I played it for like a month or two, and then I eventually stopped playing. I handed it back to her. She was not very happy with me, and understandably so. Um, so yeah, so glad that that's getting a sequel now. Can't wait to see more on that. Um, Now these last two things were hype as fuck to me as well. Um, I am gonna talk about the arguably bigger thing, just because at one point it was going to apply to me because I had a family plan until just tonight. Unfortunately, I had to cancel it. Um, bro, no one will match the genius of Nintendo. Virtual game cards. I didn't even understand that fucking concept when they said it. This is crazy. And the update comes out late April this year. So it only applies to when you buy the digital version of a game, not a physical game, and then you um it doesn't apply to a physical game that you insert and then you can download like a virtual version. Like no. The whole point of the virtual game card is so you can switch between switches, or you can share it with a friend. And I think sharing with a friend allows them to have it up to 2 weeks, and then it automatically comes back to you. There's nothing else that goes into it. You just need to be connected to Wi-Fi or Ethernet whenever you want to load it up on another Switch, not on the primary console for that account. It loads just like normal, just like regular digital games. And then if you're doing it between switches, you only have to connect to internet like um the one time for that particular game. So all good. Local wireless. Please tell me I can do that over the internet. Oh, and you can only give out one game to one person. So like you could give out multiple games, but only one person can have one of your virtual game cards at a time. Also, from what I just saw at the end of the trailer, it's something that you can turn on and off. So all good. So what I really love about this is, you know how whenever you quote unquote buy a movie or buy a video game or buy a TV show, you're only buying a license to view it or play it, right? Well, Nintendo still makes you feel like you own it with something like this. Like, yeah, we're cool with you sharing your games, bro. Here, like here's a thing to do that. You should be able to do this seamlessly on another console if you have a second Switch, because a lot of people have a Switch and a Switch Lite, or a Switch OLED and a Switch Lite. So it makes sense, especially now that people are going to have a Switch 2 and a Switch 1. And I will tell you why that would be a thing for people to do, to still have a Switch 1 after tomorrow's presentation. Very promising news that I've been reading upon. Oh boy. Well, just to wrap this up, they wrapped up the direct with Miyamoto-san. Bro, my heart. So basically, they announced this service, Nintendo Today, with salutations and a lot of respect to Iwata starting this Nintendo Direct concept. But the app Nintendo Today is basically their daily newsletter. They're controlling the narrative, and I've been seeing this a lot online over the past week. So I'm kind of glad I waited a little bit to talk about this, because I'm not on Twitter every day. Hell, I'm not even really on every week. But they have been hyping up the Switch 2 through Nintendo Today. Like, they've been doing countdown announcements. They're doing like different stuff, like you having themes throughout the app. You can have like a calendar widget for it. They let you download wallpapers. They've got little mini games in there. It's like I said, it's basically their newsletter. They're controlling the narrative of their announcements and how they go about announcing them. You don't have to go through these different news publishers anymore to get a story. You've got the app, you've got everything you want to know. Except, of course, if you follow leaks. Like me. So, yeah, they're trying to knock out the riffraff of all of the clickbait that these websites are doing. They're going to let you know when you're eligible to like earn more platinum points by doing this one thing, or if certain video games that you play um, are having in-game events, like online and stuff, and you can sign up to get like notifications on those games um, on your phone, like not just in the app, like push notifications by going in the app and letting them know, hey, like which games do you play from this list right here? Just let us know. Or which franchises are you interested in? Now, sadly, they don't have um, all of their major stuff up there, or what we consider major. So, of course, they don't have F Zero, even though F-Zero 99 is a thing right now. They don't have Star Fox. That's irrelevant to them right now. Um, there are many notable IPs missing. I'll put it that way. I don't even think Xenoblade's on there, because I guess that's technically Monolith Soft, which makes it a second party game. I thought Xenoblade was Nintendo. Apparently not. I guess not. Um, I thought they owned Monolith Soft though. I've got to look that back up. I got to look that up again. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I wanted to go over. The fact that, and I was supposed to open up with this, but the fact that Nintendo has mastered the direct formula, because I get the same feeling every time I watch a normal, news and updates direct nowadays. They always open with a game that they've already covered or they've already announced. And this time they opened with Dragon Age 1 and 2 2D HD remaster. I don't like that fucking title. I know it perfectly describes what it is, but like man, that's more than a mouthful. Um yeah, they settle you down first, like, hey, you've seen this thing before on this channel. Okay, well, we're still releasing it. This time they showed off a game that didn't have a release date, so that was kind of like it was kind of like a misstep. I know I'm a little over 30 minutes. Chill. Um, um, yeah, they settle you down like, okay, we've got this thing that we showed off last time that's still coming out. We're still working on that, okay? And then they hit you with some of the regular stuff, building up to a moment, and then they build up to a moment like Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. And that's kind of why they should have put Metroid Prime 4 Beyond in the middle and probably did Pokemon Legends Z to A first, just so it could meet that hype. And then Metroid Prime 4 would middle it out a little bit. And then you hit people with something like yeah, we're bringing back Rhythm Heaven. Yeah, we're bringing back Tomodachi Life. Yeah, you can share game cards. Like that would have been, well, you could share virtual games pretty a lot easier. That would have been really cool. But the thing that I loved about the virtual game card was it's a better way to game share because now I can make my console the primary console and I don't have to be connected to the internet all the time just to do digital games, which isn't normally an issue because most times I'm playing in my house anyway, but it's more so like a thing like if I'm really hyped about this thing, even if you have DLC for a game, it requires you to connect to the internet to verify that um, um, I guess like checking for licenses and checking that it's the right account or some bullshit like that. I don't know. But regardless, if you buy DLC for a game, for a physical game, you have to connect to the internet if it's not your primary console as well. And so that would just be a way better way of going about it. But like I said, I had to get rid of the family plan, unfortunately, today. Um, but perhaps in the future, if we decide to get back on that train, um, yeah, that would definitely be the way to go about it. I want to thank you guys for joining me today. Uh, Make sure you follow and rate on your platform of choice. If you happen to do so on Spotify, that helps me monetize this show because I got to get up to a certain amount of followers and a certain amount of listen time. So it would be very much appreciated. Um, Thank you for joining me, and I hope you join me again tomorrow night for the Switch 2 Aftermath. Thanks for listening.